go find a good spot to sit. Welcome to Mountain View. This is one of the most beautiful cemeteries in the whole city. And not to be morbid about it, but it did seem like a fitting place to end our journey. It's certainly more interesting than my garage. Last time we left off at the Colorado border. Our next 2 stops would take us through Utah, Nevada, and eventually back here to Los Angeles. I've had a great time telling this story to you guys, but we've been telling it a long time. I think it's time we take it home. "7 a.m. was too early for the harsh reality that was in front of us, the American Southwest. But if we wanted to make it to the promised land, these things had to be done. The consolation of powdered eggs and other reheated rations waited for us just a few floors down. A true traveler's breakfast, enjoyed by no one. Our day would begin near the border and take us 340 miles southwest, eventually reconnecting us with the desert corridor of I-15 and landing us in Cedar City, Utah. Now, what's in Cedar City, you're asking? Well, honestly, I've been asking myself that same question. Sometimes these destinations have to be chosen purely out of distance and directionality. Cedar City would certainly fall into that category. But we answer the call for the free air conditioning and the check on the seemingly infinite list of American cities I haven't been to. We made our first stop somewhere in the desert for gas and so that Jason could break out his pocket egg like a little hobbit.
Don't think he knows about second breakfast, Pip.
West of Colorado, the earth flattens out along the interstate. And although largely the same, it's a great ride. That is, if the temperature's bearable. This morning would be okay. 90 degrees was quickly approaching by noon, though. So we stopped only when we had to and made it to Cedar City as quickly as possible. As the sun reached its 1 p.m. position in the sky, we made it to Cedar Valley Inn, the perfect stopover for transients and other committed alcoholics. And in a surprise to no one, did not have a room ready for us. So we were forced out to the closest local hangout to kill some time. One very decent plate of Indian food later, and we were ready to check into our room. I do wish there were more to report to you on this town, but there really just wasn't much going on. So we turned on a movie about analog motorcycles and waited for it to get dark. The heat of the day and the exhaustion of thousands of miles on the bike already had taken its toll. We would need all the energy we could collect for tomorrow. So we said an easy goodnight to Cedar City. Last night we were accosted by a very dedicated drunk we were sharing the same floor with. He raved to us about stealing land from the natives, only to turn around and make them into parking lots and charge for entrance. The most American thing, he said. I wondered if he wasn't having his moment of clarity, and I began to question my own dedication. Although we are initiated, I knew this was the exact type of energy we'd be going into in Las Vegas, and even a momentary lapse in guard could result in generational suffering. Maybe the stakes weren't that high, but I like to channel Thompson as we head towards I-15. It was going to be a short day by any metric, but there wasn't any time to be wasted. Sitting at the other end of our charge into the Mojave were triple digits, something I'd like to not collide with head on. We made as quick a work as could be made out of 170 miles, and soon the burning visage of Vegas came into view. The miniature metropolis of downtown Vegas welcomed us as it always does, warmly. If I wanted to conceal my love for Las Vegas, I would tell you that it is, in fact, one of the few ways in and out of Southern California, and happens to be the perfect distance from LA to be a layover. I think that'd be a thin veil at this point, though. We were greeted by the familiar sights of the Plaza Hotel, situated at the very end of Fremont Street in downtown Las Vegas. I'd played bingo here years earlier, and I think that might have been the deciding factor to come back. We'd ease into our day with something a little more familiar, though. $3 roulette. Outside, it's easy to forget that the sun is scorching the surface of the earth. 108 degrees is pretty hard to deal with, but the Las Vegans seem to have figured it out. Fremont Street is shaded and air-conditioned to a certain degree, so it's a good place to go find some daytime trouble. We stopped at a personal favorite for lunch, the Whiskey Liquor Saloon. I'll let you make up your own mind about the name, but the revolving bar does make for some good people watching. If I had any life advice to dole out, I'd say don't wait until you're old to play bingo. If the Buddha gambled, this would be his game. The night was coming, and it was time to do it all over again, but in the dark. The nighttime does give downtown a certain electricity, not to be too on the nose about it. Sometimes it's hard to tell day from night here, but then again, I think that might be the point. After so many years in Vegas, I'm still exploring. I'm not looking for anything new, but waiting for something to happen. No matter how old you are, Vegas gives you the promise that you can still die young. You know, in a metaphorical kind of way. I'd taken the last of my photos for the trip, and we celebrated with one last drink before bed. After 2 weeks on the road, it was time to pack it in. As usual, we picked something up and left something behind. But I might not figure out what that is until we see the long road again. For now, I'll just thank the road spirits for a safe journey and prepare for one last ride into the Mojave. "14 days on the road and 5 months of storytelling will bring this to a close. I want to thank you guys for sticking with me. I love telling you these stories, and your kind words have gotten me through the early days while this whole thing takes shape. We've got more stories to tell, but until then, I'll see you, Road Dog.